The modern mind operates in a state of high-pressure chaos, where conflicting data and rapid-fire demands compete for every second of your attention. When faced with this volume of information, the brain's default response is unreflective thinking. We protect our mental energy by leaning on quick assumptions and sliding into the comfort of societal groupthink. This reliance on cognitive shortcuts makes us easy targets for external manipulation. Without a process to filter what we consume, our decisions are shaped by whatever narrative happens to be loudest. Operating on these default settings effectively turns us into passive consumers of reality, reacting to the world rather than navigating it with independence. Albert Einstein famously observed that the thinking that creates a problem is rarely sufficient to solve it. To address the complexities of the modern world, we must adopt critical thinking, a disciplined, higher-order skill that requires stepping back to evaluate all angles before reaching a judgment. By breaking the cycle of inherited, flawed assumptions, these skills allow you to regain control over your choices in an environment designed to overwhelm your default reactions. Objective inquiry begins with a deliberate mental pause. You have to actively stop your immediate emotional reaction to give your analytical mind a chance to engage. When a new claim hits your attention, apply curiosity, seeking the evidence behind it. Then apply skepticism, filtering solid core data from surrounding noise. Finally, to understand clearly, break the problem down into its most fundamental parts. Clearly defining the terms of the problem at this stage prevents the original objective from getting lost as the analysis goes deeper. You must be careful, however, to avoid the temptation to oversimplify a difficult issue just to make it easier to process. How you manage this initial point of contact dictates whether you are in control of the problem or if the problem is controlling you. Before you can trust your evaluation of the outside world, you must turn your focus inward and audit the instrument you are using to measure it, your own mind. This requires humility, the rigorous awareness of your own mental blind spots, and the uncomfortable realization that your initial judgments may be flawed. To separate factual reality from mere opinion, you have to map out your own personal likes and dislikes, acknowledging where your preferences might cloud your judgment. This audit allows emotional reasoning to drain away, revealing the sharp, analytical foundation beneath the noise of your immediate feelings. You cannot accurately weigh external evidence until you have neutralized the distorting lenses of your own internal biases. With your biases checked, you can act as an independent judge and jury, weighing the raw evidence of a situation with objectivity. Critical inquiry demands that you examine existing evidence and history, rather than taking the current, popular narrative for granted. Try reversing the problem. By assuming the exact opposite outcome of what you expect, you can often reveal hidden pathways and origin points that were previously invisible. If a clear answer doesn't emerge immediately, you must be able to tolerate uncertainty and remain adaptable while the evidence continues to develop. Objective inquiry prioritizes the structural accuracy of a conclusion over the psychological comfort of reaching that conclusion quickly. Initially, applying these rigorous analytical filters is exhausting. For a beginner, fighting the brain's default shortcuts requires constant, conscious effort. Progression comes through the daily practice of inquiry, moving from simply knowing these skills exist to actively applying them to every new piece of information you encounter. Over time, the systematic process of stepping back and analyzing becomes a frictionless second nature, requiring less effort as your baseline thinking shifts. The goal is a total upgrade of how your brain operates, moving from reactive impulses to a state of constant, disciplined inquiry. Beyond the goal of mere accuracy, this process of objective inquiry fosters a constant, rewarding sense of discovery. Removing the weight of external biases provides the mental space needed for independent thought. When you have filtered the evidence yourself, you gain the clarity required to stand by your own conclusions, even when they conflict with the views of those closest to you. Henry David Thoreau suggested that this ability to think with critical objectivity is the single most vital life skill a human being can possess. Critical thinking is the ultimate tool for reclaiming your intellectual independence, ensuring that in an increasingly noisy world, your thoughts remain truly your own.